Hi, everybody.
Hey everybody, welcome to TFT, Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with,
Oberon.
and me,
You
Banshee.
keep looking at me, so I want to do that to you.
Ready? Well. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Good to see everybody on a Sunday afternoon. All right, hey, let's get right to it with the Season of the Witch Mabon Oracle. Fall is coming. The weather's beat fall to it here in Michigan. It's kind of cool today.
Angel.
Hey, Angel.
So I was trying to figure out why.
Yeah. What?
They're obviously from the other deck, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know how
Whoopsie.
that happened.
How did that happen? Wow.
Nobody makes mistakes.
I don't know. That's pretty wild.
They both have the same back.
Yes, they do. All right. Is my screen?
It is what it is.
Okay. Hey, maybe we'll have. Nope, I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. Okay. So let me see, Mr. O. I'm going to have you choose a card out of here. Get it together. All right. Pick your poison.
Oh, this would be
What do you got?
mead and wine.
Meat and wine.
I don't do most alcohol, but mead is a definite no-no for me.
Really? I'm not crazy about it, frankly, but I will drink it.
No, I don't like to drink.
26, 25. Uh-oh. I knew it. I'm not going to have room. Okay, well, meat and wine. The keywords are debauchery, indulgence, pleasure, satisfaction, living in the moment. Your presence embodied, tasting the pleasure flowing through your being. Your higher self chose this card because you are urgently in need of more play, fun, debauchery, and throwing caution to the wind. Of course, bills need to be paid and you have to put food on the table, but playtime is a basic human need, and it contributes to your health and happiness. Well, maybe not too much of that need, perhaps. The need is so often overlooked when you're barely making it through the day and wake up to each new day filled with worry about your jam-packed schedule. You may not even be aware of the breath you've been holding in or the stress you're carrying until you get out and do something fun. Living in the moment can come in many forms, from the most expensive adventure to good time on a dime. A spontaneous living room picnic or a Sunday drive with your partner can turn into a night of renewed passion. A trip to the beach with your kids or besties and an iPhone can lead the way to beautiful memories you can all reminisce about for years to come. Even a couple of drinks every few months, I like the way they say that, a couple of drinks every few months at a shitty bar. Didn't I have this for someone before? I'm sure I did. I remember saying that. At a shitty bar with your coworkers can help to release the stress of a challenging boss or demanding clients. It's the quality and company that makes the experience rewarding, no matter what the experience costs or whether it's done infrequently, just as long as you make some time to get out of the everyday hustle and bustle of life. So you don't need alcohol, you don't need drugs to have a really good time. Whatever it takes, to do that, do it. Do it. Schedule that downtime. We aren't meant to work 24/7 all our lives. Am I right, Mr. O?
You are right.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, other than I'm just looking at the chat.
Ah.
Hi, Victoria.
Now, shopaholic.
And shopaholic.
Now, that's a way to have fun. Right.
Well, I have medical reasons why I don't drink, but when I did drink many moons ago, I found mead to just be a little too heavy for me. There was a heaviness about it. You moved out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
Try
mean
not
to,
to
but
do
I was
that.
trying to reach. Sorry.
And it's also like too sweet too on occasion.
It is a little bit too sweet or syrupy for me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
That would be the heavy factor.
Yeah. So, but it's not my preferred, But I do like sweet drinks to a certain extent.
More with the liquor maybe than with something that's kind of wine-ish. Because that's what mead strikes me as sort of a form of wine, maybe.
I like a good rosé.
I like that better, I suppose.
I think I like a rosé, a Zinfandel. I don't know. There's not too many wines I do drink, though, really. All right. Well, anyway. When work ends, leave it at work. That's right, Angel Rivera. I like that. All right. If you ever drink again, try a bee sting. Half meat and half cider. Light and refreshing. Okay. Hate all of it. I don't get it. I don't drink and I can't. My mother had some alcohol issues and she used to even drink vodka straight out of the bottle. I do not like vodka to this day. I don't like vodka-based drinks. I don't mind saying that. I mean, rest in peace, Mom. But we know, some of your family indulged a bit much. So, all right. Well, anyway.
I know that. I was trying to think of the word for it, but yeah, it's a honey kind of wine.
Hi, Siama.
Hi, Siama.
All right, let's roll. Let's get going. And our first reading is for, I think it's Lena. Am I right? Yep, Lena.
Mm-hmm. Your deck or mine?
What's the question?
Oh.
Oh, okay. I'll go with first this time, if you don't mind. I'll use my crow deck. Start at the beginning here.
Question is there any success coming on their way in the next 8 months, please?
Anything coming their way?
That's what it says.
Okay.
Is there any success coming their way?
Got it.
My
okay.
way.
Let's see where. Victoria, you're here, so I take it the aliens did not come through and beam you up, huh?
Well, she said they brought her back.
Oh, they brought you back? Oh.
Does that mean that was a rejection?
Oh.
Hey, you don't want to go with them. They're from the dark side of the galaxy. The bad side.
All right, let's see what we have. Well, we have the Magician reversed. We have the Six of Swords upright. But we have the Star reversed. That's interesting.
All right, so over in our Lenormand, we have a star.
It's a star again, upright, of course.
It's
'cause
the
that's
Lenormand
right.
star, of
Yeah.
course, which is a little different. And we have the tree.
Huh. Success. How do you measure success? And in what area of your life? It's hard for me to say, a particular area of your life with these cards, Lena. But, success is, I don't want to say it's elusive, but it just depends on how you define success. So there may not be any one area of your life that is successful, but what is successful, I feel, is right here, and of course here, but let's talk about that Six of Swords here. I really feel you're going to experience more peace, more calm, more tranquility in your life. Everything just seems, like it's better in some ways. So, that is kind of success in a way if you're at that state. I feel like you're going to be moving into this phase where, things just seem smoother, better, less stress in your life. Hey, that's a plus.
Well,
do you want to start somewhere else?
I don't know where I want to start. I sort of get the feeling like this is a definite mixed bag that doesn't give us the exact answer of yes or no necessarily. There are some things there that are interesting. I almost got the feeling that when I saw the Magician reversed, I felt it had more to do with maybe you kind of loosening some of your hold on these projections that, there's a sense of a drive there that maybe you just need to kind of trust in the universe kind of thing, and maybe I see that in the reflections from the star too, in a way. The Six of Swords is obviously saying you are moving or will be in this time period towards something that is less bothersome to you or less troublesome. So that could be the sense of things working your way.
So, I like what you said here. Could you kind of go over that a little bit more? The sense of, well, let me throw this at you and see what you think. There's this, I'm wondering, Lena, here too, there's this idea maybe in your head that's a false one. Sometimes this card is about doubting yourself. This card is about, what's the word? Not having confidence in yourself. And the star is here reversed saying, there's this sense of pessimism and maybe a lack of feeling that you are up for challenges in life, that you are worthy of success. And I think that's a false flag here. The Magician is kind of a trickery kind of card.
Right. The trickery is yours to embrace, perhaps. But it could be saying, too, that once, you start to maybe temper down your expectations, you move ahead in a better way. So some of this could be applied to other people's readings, too, that sometimes we're just can be so fixed on a particular kind of goal,
an outcome
that we are not really giving anything else room to breathe around us that may need room to breathe. So this could take different, examples here, people that are fixated on a particular job outcome or romance outcome or whatever it is, that you may be denying your own agency to work towards those goals, that it's not always about, that lucky break coming through, but sometimes we have to work on what we're trying to achieve.
So I almost feel here, this is a real interesting reading after all, that, once you really take a long, hard look at this, and redefine, really think about what success means to you in your life, optimism will return. Things are going to be more stable and calm and balanced. I think maybe we all don't recognize, the little successes in our lives that we have. And I feel here that maybe that's why we have these cards reversed here, because this is saying you are going to be in a better place. And I think this is overall in your life, overarching in your life, not just in any one area of your life. And once you realize, that you are at, that things aren't as bad as they seem, I think things are going to flow a lot smoother.
Well, that really comes through in the Lenormand too, I think, the most here, that the idea that growth towards something that is more hopeful maybe happens on its own terms in a way, not necessarily because of fate or magic or destiny, but sometimes we have to make our destiny.
Right.
And
so
maybe relocating mentally, emotionally, or physically is part of that key, that we have to kind of change ourselves to change the without.
I like that. And it's just really, Lena, I think that there's no one area in this reading that this is pointing to for success. I wish I could give you some more specific information, but what it's saying is you are moving towards better conditions in your life. So hold on to that, because I think that's important.
It could just be, despite what you're doing, you are doing that. You know, that if you are not necessarily making the best moves, or if you are in fact making moves that deter that, you're still going there, because maybe there is still some kind of destiny. It's just not necessarily the exact destiny you think it is. And so that's something else to think about.
So feel free to ask a similar question like this in the future, Lena. Now, it's just trying to tell you, hey, things are going to improve. But maybe as time goes on, we might be able to see something more specific.
All right.
That's what we have for you. Good luck with that.
Good luck, Lena. And we are on Mr. Maurice.
Hey, Mr. M.
What's coming towards me in the coming weeks in general? And I see Dr. Victor and Flower Beauty have joined us. Hey. Good to see you guys.
My thing is not scrolling down. Stop it. And maybe you're to blame. Jeez. Dr. V, Flower Beauty. Dr. V, Video and Flower Beauty.
So I'm going to use my Nefertari deck for Mr. Maurice.
Okay. Sunny is a little pest, but they all are lately. Oh my God. Sassy got so close up to me, I could barely get my arms on the table to type on the computer. I'm trying to create a new business card for something, and she just wouldn't give me space at all.
Yes. When I say who's in the chat list, it doesn't mean I'm saying them in order, so Violet is reminding you of that.
Yep, I watched what you got, Violet. I'm checking the list.
Because I also missed Vidi.
Yep.
I did see them earlier, but I didn't mention that.
I got it. Good.
I just talking.
It's all right. No.
Okay, so.
All right, Mr. M. Let's see what we have for you.
So there's the Ten of Swords. We're starting off with a bang. Ten of Swords upright.
And what was the question?
Just what's coming in the next few weeks.
Oh boy.
Coming weeks. Then there's the reverse Two of Cups. Ow. But then there's the Devil reverse.
Well, but that, with those cards, that's very interesting. Looks like Mr. I'm sorry, do you mind? Let me get the Lenormand done. Hang on, let's just hang on a minute. It definitely is a striking combination here, Mr. M. I just don't know if this is in your interpersonal life or work life, but we'll chat about this. All right, let's see what I have. More movement.
The ship.
Look at this.
The dog.
Well, you know, if I was...
A gambling person?
A gambling person? No. If I was to sum this up and look at this from what I see pretty clearly here, this looks like a friend or an acquaintance or some family member is like moving on, you know. It could be a lover. It could be, you know, whatever. There is some issues here. Of course, the Ten of Swords is here. There's some sort of a sense or a feeling of betrayal. Now, I don't know if, you know, clearly it's your reading, so I can't help but think that you are going to feel betrayed or slighted in some way here. And there's a rift here, you know, between you and other people. It's leading to freedom. Okay? So that sounds like release, like I have to get out of this.
Well, it almost sounds like it might pertain more to maybe your work life. You ask a lot about your work life. I don't want to say
I know.
anything in particular, but one idea could be that maybe you are finally deciding to move away from your workplace. But it's more likely that it could be something maybe important, but not so much of a fixture in your life. Most people don't move away from something like their livelihood unless they have achieved a much better one or have some other great fortune fall upon them that they can actually consider doing those things. So this could be more about the personal.
It could be. The dog is here, which is kind of troublesome to me because that could be friends, that could be family. But again, if Mr. O, and yeah, I knew you were about to transfer Mr. M, but I'm going to continue on this path a little bit here. I'm factoring that in. That's why I even thought, yeah, this could be about work. Because not only, as I was about to say, is the dog about friendship, the dog is about loyalty. So it's almost like you're moving your loyalties elsewhere. And so, or a friend is moving elsewhere. So, we could look at these two different ways. And I do think it can very much apply to your workplace situation.
Well, when we consider what has been revealed and what you've told us about that, a lot of times you have indicated that it's not very desirable for you, the conditions to some degree. And so maybe this indicates that, of course, whether there was an actual stab in the back, there is a sense of disappointment, like somebody didn't really have your interest at heart in some way. And that maybe that trust and harmony that was involved in that relationship did flounder, because this is trust and harmony too, but reversed. So it sort of equates to the dog in the sense only that maybe, you feel you are following a better path and you want to be loyal to what you have done. You just don't see it in this context. And maybe that's the devil reversed. The devil reversed is sort of saying getting rid of attachments that are just oppressive in most ways.
Things that oppressed you. And so clearly toxic workplaces or conditions that are just, not good for you, letting that go, releasing that thing's hold on you.
Since you seem to have already known this was happening, you planned for this, I think the real takeaway is mostly in those Lenormand cards, that this is sort of a good sign saying, follow your bliss or follow whatever to this new location, because it's bound to have something better for you. And I don't remember if this is one that you said you worked at before.
I think you did, yeah.
So maybe there were more trustful kinds of relationships or situations there.
Well, at any rate, this is, I guess, what's going to be rather important to you in the weeks ahead, which is why it came up. I mean, you have given us that information before, and when we were laying out the cards, actually, I was thinking about that, but I can't overrule the personal as well. So, and it's interesting how the cards come up. I mean, we know about that thing, but we can't, how could I say this? If the cards don't fit, we wouldn't have said this, but the cards fit that situation just like a glove. So I think that's what really is going to be front and center for you coming up in the weeks ahead.
And there's nothing that specifically talks to what you just mentioned there, but I do feel like there's a resonance towards this, that you're moving towards something where you're valued. That's the sense of loyalty. And maybe it's because they realize you are bringing some skills back, but maybe also too, you were just a better person to be there, and having you back really makes a difference for them.
Good luck with that, Mr. M. I hope conditions are better for you.
I hope you will enjoy that. Yeah. You'll have to let us know.
Yeah, all right.
So that was Mr. Maurice, and now we are on Asel.
Hi, Asel.
And waiting for their question.
Oh, I better have my...
I could probably go up and get more coffee while I'm waiting. You're welcome, Mr. Maurice. Thank you. Do you want to warm up?
You're welcome, Mr. Yes, I will take a warm-up. Thank you.
All right, it's coffee break.
Yeah, we've really filled up fast, as I tell people. 6 more people, you're right. Okay. Sounds good, Victoria. You're still a little ways down, so...
Go take a nap.
Go take a nap. Improve finances for the week. All right, we'll take a look at that. When it's your turn. Hey, Estelle, where are you?
Oh, Estelle, you know we've told you about this.
Mr. O even ran up and got coffee. I guess I'll get my deck ready. Let me see which one. I used the crow, so it's the haunted house.
Well, Estelle, we're going to probably have to move on and put you down at the bottom of the list. No amount of screaming at you in the chat room is going to work. But thanks for trying. That's right. You know the score. Thank you, Violet.
All right.
Sorry, Estelle.
Estelle, you're at the bottom of the list, and you can leave your question if you have to.
And I really wish that, I'm not going to just bark on Estelle, but I really wish that everybody would remember that we can only wait so long. We can't kill the buzz of the show. And if you're not in it to hear it, then you should leave a question and be willing to come back and navigate to the part of the video that has your reading on it. But we normally have on Sundays a lot of people waiting, and it's just not nice to keep stalling, waiting for somebody that has decided to go somewhere else.
Well, and the other thing is, we know sometimes there is a delay. There is a delay, which is why we do a little bit of talking. We might throw in some advertisements and stuff.
Thank you, Violet.
We're only going to wait so long. Okay.
And the thing is we know that a lot of people who come here also frequent other readers. So we realize you may be trying to make sure you get in at another reader's place. But once again, you know, we're spending our time and energy here. So
yeah, we see it, Violet.
We need a little respect too.
All right, Mr. O.
So we're on Fire Spawn.
So he wants to know that our Fire Spawn wants to know the Pisces current's feelings towards them.
Alrighty, so that's my deck, right?
No, it's mine.
Oh, it's yours. Okay.
Using the Ghosty Haunted Ghost Tarot, Haunted House Tarot.
Well, today I don't have a lot of energy. I'm actually very tired today. I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm very tired. And if I get too tired, I sort of get a little bit snotty.
Crabby and scorpionic. Let's all beware.
Don't let it happen to you. Thank you, Violet.
All right. Okay, the Pisces' current feelings towards you.
Winger.
It almost looks like an arrow, but you've used this deck too. Is this the King of Swords or the King of Wands?
I'd say
it's Wands.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why is because it looks like this next card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that would be the... Okay, all right. So we have the King of Wands upright. That's interesting. We have the Eight of Wands, though, reversed. Wow. Is this for real? That's kind of creepy. It's the Four of Wands. They're all wands, which I've shuffled this deck really good.
Well, it is called the Haunted House, my dear. So if you were not expecting it to be creepy, I don't know why you chose it. But here in Lenormand is the star.
Ooh.
And the letter. The bat letter.
Well, this is interesting. Their current feelings towards you. I think they think highly of you. I can't say that they don't. We've got the King of Wands here. And I think that they may think highly of you. They're attracted. There is something positive here. But the Eight of Wands is reversed. And I'm just wondering if, like, I hate to say it, I just can't help but wonder if there may be some other things or people competing for their attention. They may be scattering their energy, or they may be like, still playing the field, maybe? What do you think about that?
Is it a fatal attraction?
Fatal attraction.
Do they feel that there is something highly charismatic going on here? That's the King of Wands. They want you to hold them in front of the burning fireplace, but don't throw them in. But at the same time, maybe they feel that they're not making their mark with you. Like maybe they feel that they adore you in some ways. They sense this great charisma, but they don't always feel like that you realize that, or that they're making their mark on you. The Eight of Wands sort of suggests moving towards your target, the thing you want, with energy and precision, but it's reversed. So maybe they feel that you don't notice them, or you're letting them slip away perhaps. So it makes it more confusing then, because when I see the Four of Wands there, despite its more sinister tone, the Four of Wands is about a foundation, a creation, a sense of maybe building something that you can inhabit together, a construction. I'm not saying you're moving in together, but maybe this is saying there's something that unites you at some point, or brings you into each other's orbit in a certain way.
There is something to celebrate here, The Four of Wands is about a celebration as well. Dare I say, it can be about a marriage, or as Mr. O said, partnering up, maybe moving in together. It just looks like there's potential here. I don't want to get your hopes up too much, but there seems to be potential. And with the Lenormand here, it's almost indicating like there might be some news or an invitation of some sort that will give you hope for the future, So there'll be some sort of communication that may, encourage you and make you more optimistic about how things feel.
It is interesting, Firestorm, that you got all wands there. Wands are about, different measures of bravery or confidence or charisma.
Bringing on the heat.
I like what you said, too, that maybe they already have somebody, too. And maybe that could be why the Four of Wands is there, is that there is something that already is a construction that they inhabit, the construct of that relationship, perhaps. But I don't feel totally assured of that. I think it's more likely that their feelings are mixed about you in certain respects, and that maybe there's a sense of come here, but maybe stay away. Like, so they're sort of like afraid to get too close in a way, the push-pull of those two cards.
I like that, but I don't know. When I saw the Eight of Wands, I just went with my, reversed with my initial impression is like, because sometimes the Eight of Wands can be about burnout, but sometimes the Eight of Wands can be about just, being all over the place, with your energy. And so that's what led me to think about the potential for another person. That there may be another person or persons, or that maybe they're just not ready to settle down yet. They're still burning their candle at both ends, so to speak.
The real important thing here, I think, is more so in the Lenormand, because it does look like there is going to be some reaching out of some sort, or that they are going to communicate some sense of their feelings, perhaps, to you. I don't know if that comes through an email or whatever, but I do feel like maybe this draw that they feel towards you, the charisma thing, is also reflected in the star. And maybe the relationship is more, about what they feel they can achieve with you, goals, destinies. And so that sort of brings it back to the Four of Wands too, that maybe their feelings about you are specific to a certain point that may be in a relationship, but it could also be something else maybe that is just about needing you for something that you can build together with them. Maybe it's more about a short-term or not so short-term project or something that they want you to be involved in. Maybe, I don't know, I'm kind of floundering here because I'm sort of feeling like this sort of takes it into the realm that it may not be a forever kind of relationship, that maybe it's something that's more the heat of the moment. Or
it's hard for me to say with that Four of Wands here,
or in fact that maybe they're more dialing to be in your friend zone to some degree.
I don't know. When I think of the Four of Wands, I think of a foundation, developing. So I'm going to give this a little bit more hope, perhaps.
It looks that way.
I wish you success. Good luck with this. That's where things seem to stand right now. They may have feelings for you, but they may also have some divided attentions. That's where I'm at.
So, like you say, I think, it does indicate that there is some sort of chance here, especially with the Lenormand. So that's what we have for you.
Sonny, let me go.
And we are going to move on.
Floundering. Yes, let's move on quickly. Alika, hi. I saw you came in.
Yes. You're welcome, Firespawn. And of course, we are moving on to Foxy. Go ahead, Foxy. I don't know if you jotted that down or I saw you pop up a moment ago.
And it will be your deck. Here's your Lenormand.
That's fine. Anyone can post their questions, and then we will get to them in the order. And like I said before, you just may have to come back to navigate if you choose, to not wait for it. It's up to you, really. It's better that you do that than, you take up our show time by us having to see if you're there and wait for you. It's fine, Foxy. Just go ahead and do it.
Well, she is. I'm just waiting. It's perfect. Sometimes things take longer.
Well, they said,
but as long as they let us know that they're there, it's okay.
They said, hope it's okay, so I'm assuring them that it is fine.
It is totally okay.
I said it was fine.
Well, I say it's totally okay.
Alrighty.
Ah.
My keyboard is being spazzy too, so.
Cards were very positive, Firespawn. Good luck with that. All right.
All right, Alex or Dan? This sounds like you're 2-2.
Okay, Violet, that's fine. A better chance of getting with Alex or Dan. Yeah, it does sound like the 2 and 2. Well, that means, all right, maybe I want to do this again.
So we do one pile to represent the question towards Alex, and then one to represent the question towards Dan. Thank you for your question, Flower Beauty. One, 1, 2, 2.
Yep.
All right, so the first card in the Alex pile is the reverse Queen of Cups. The first one in the Dan pile is the upright Three of Swords.
Holy cow.
Right away it says neither.
What the
Well,
heck?
who knows? Then back to the Alex pile, it's the reversed Wheel of Fate or Fortune. And then back to Dan, it's the reverse
Reversed. What is
Emperor.
up with you? Jeez.
Oh, well.
Okay, for Alex, we have the Crossroads, since he's not grabbing those, and the Ship. For Dan, we have the Coffin and the Stars.
All right.
Gee, Foxy, I wish I had better news today. Maybe it's just Mercury retrograde or something. But neither of these seem to be working out for various reasons here. If I look at Alex, it just seems like something is making you either feel emotionally unfulfilled or unhappy about this relationship. And you know what? It may be through no fault of your own. It might be that just something pulls you apart with the Wheel of Fortune reversed here. Like fate has a role in making, this relationship not become permanent.
Well, at the outset of it, what it looks like is that on an emotional basis, you probably aren't really going to be that compatible with Alex. It sort of seems like there's varied emotions, more likely on his part, but I wouldn't say that totally. And that I agree with Banshee that maybe something just doesn't seem to really spin around to the opportunities you want. It's that reversed Wheel of Fortune thing.
Well, he might be the one that's unhappy, but it's hard to say. You said you're not in a relationship yet with them, so, but I feel like this is you, and it's these turn of events that will affect, what happens here if you were to get in a relationship with Alex. So let me put it to you that way. And it's almost as if I wonder if something makes them have to move. Either move somewhere and you don't want to follow, or maybe they're following a career, they're following a job, they're moving away for some reason.
They may be at a different point in their overall trajectory, and maybe, whether you know it or not, I don't know if you know it or not, there may be other considerations or choices. That's the idea of the crossroads. And maybe they feel, they want to move towards some other choice there. It may be you, but there's no way of really telling for sure. It sort of looks like it might not work out for you because of that reversed Wheel of Fortune. So they may just really have some emotional upsets in their life that maybe are making them consider what other options are, whether they should even be in a relationship at this time, maybe.
Well, I'm looking at it more a physical move, and I won't rule out here, Foxy, that you might be the one that wants to make this move, and that would cause some turbulence here. But it is interesting, how these all seem to fit together.
They do, in a way.
But let's take a look at this mess.
And this is Dan.
This is Dan.
And there is a little bit more of a mess going on.
What's that last card again? That's the Emperor reversed?
Yes, that's the Emperor reversed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dan might cause some heartache here, or or one or the other. Well, do you want to go first on this one? Maybe I should let you go first on this one.
I wonder with Dan if they're maybe dealing already with something that's emotionally rough for them that has separated them. It may be a relationship, but it may be something else that separates them from something that they enjoyed. So maybe, they've lost a job, or they've lost a relative, or something else is emotionally affecting them to the point that they don't really feel they're in control right now. They may be having other emotional situations that are keeping them from taking mastery in their life. And when you look at the other cards,
yes,
something feels rather bad for them. I almost wonder if they have gone through a major loss, somebody who was important to them in their life, and that person maybe was the person that made them feel like everything would work out. And so they're sort of in a sense of not really being in charge of their fate for some reason, whether it's because they're missing somebody who passed away or because somebody actually moved away. So once again, you sort of get that idea that maybe there's a movement going on that removes them from the situation in general, or that will be.
Don't bend my cards. Yeah. I'm not looking at this as how they feel or necessarily, their lives. You're not with them. You want to know who you have a better chance with. And both of these seem like they're going to end, if you went with either of them. That's sort of where I'm at here. And this one, it almost looks like it's ending in heartache in some way. Or that this would spell heartache getting together with Dan. And why? Because of maybe one of two reasons. Somebody in the relationship is too controlling, or feels they have no control in the relationship. It's one or the other here, or maybe a combination of both, You're too controlling and I don't have enough control, something like that. And I feel here that with the coven and the star, this is just saying that this is not a faithful match. This match would end, Hope is lost, or hope comes to an end. There's an end to hope. However way you put those two cards together, I'm kind of thinking that goes that way.
It almost feels like neither of these relationships have accessibility for you. They may have other situations or emotional things going on in their life that are indicating for them that they don't want to move into another relationship at this time. They may be trying to clear up other emotional matters or baggage in their life. And it could be that maybe in a while this would change and they might become more accessible. But right now it doesn't look that way.
So, at this point, I see what you're saying there. So I would say at this point, it doesn't hurt to try, to have a relationship with one or the other. But as you can see here, we're giving you sort of similar, but for different reason, messages as to why this may not work out. So there's nothing stopping you from trying.
That's
and
right.
You never know. The tarot's a snapshot in time. Things could change. And I know you're saying you don't see that about Dan, but we don't know what will happen until we're truly involved with someone, It's a whole new ball game when you start getting into that level. And
I spoke about these as more likely pertaining to their current or maybe recent past, but there's nothing that really says that's for sure, that maybe this could be about where things go in the future with your involvement. So I'm not sure.
So give it a shot, but I can't tell you which one is better here, to be honest with you, because they're both kind of problematic situations. So I guess you just have to go with your gut and try to go after the person you feel you may have the best shot at.
It seems to me that when I was a lot younger, and that was pre-Banshee here, that a lot of times I felt I wanted something that was more permanent relationship, but most of what I was getting was not that. And sometimes I think that's just the quality of young people. Some young people want to really strive for, the permanent relationship, and some are more willing to kind of take their time getting there. So I'm not sure, if that's, partially to play into it too, that everybody has a different focus on what they want. I can't get my...
Well, you're not the only one today that we can't give a definite answer to, Our first reading with Lena was kind of like that. We didn't totally tell her what area of her life was going to be successful, but that there was some success. So we're telling you in this one that both of these don't seem to be fated to turn out well. So you're just going to have to take your chances on this one, or ask again later, because the cards are not willing to give us like a one over the other kind of answer here. Would you be able to say with those cards who would be the better alternative?
No.
Yeah, exactly. So we get what we get sometimes with the tarot, and that's that.
Good luck.
I wish you luck. It's complicated today. Jeez, oh Pete's. I don't know if it's Mercury retrograde or what still. Hey, Kara, I think you are up.
You probably want me to use my cards for Kara.
Sure.
Because I have the Tarot of the Northern Shadows.
Well, you may, even though you're usurping me.
Oh, hi there, Satyendra. Haven't seen you in a
Sandra, hi.
while.
We can add you to the list. You've made it. I think we're still good. Maybe 2 more people. I'm not sure. Am I right about that, Violet? 1, 2, 3.
She might be getting a snack. I don't know.
15. Wait a minute.
And you can add SP to the list too.
Well, okay, but we're getting close. That's why I want to count.
There you are.
Counting. Oh, did I have Violet on the list? I probably don't. That's where I'm getting 18. So maybe 2 more people? Am I right, Violet? Oh, I know where I went wrong. I didn't have Libra. Libra snuck in. Okay. So I think 1 more person. Okay, 2 left. Okay, all right.
All right. So about that Raven and your spirit security team. Well, your first card is once again our friend the 8 of Wands or 8 of Rods. And this time they're flying in the upright direction. They're just flying there. Then it's followed by another 8, the 8 of Cups, which is also upright. That's kind of neat. And of course, Odin's horse Schleppnir, or whatever that is got 8 legs. So I'm just saying.
And there's Divine You.
Hi, Divine. Love and hugs. And then finally, another upright card, the 3 of Pentacles or discs. So, let's look at that again.
So what does Odin have to say about this?
Well, I didn't do it your way, so should I have?
No, that's
Okay.
okay. Let's look at the 3 cards. Go ahead.
I would imagine that Odin says all speed and energy forward towards what you want there. The 8 of Cups, moving in that better direction.
2 8s. Too.
I know, and then it looks like this is a question. This is a situation that you could master, perhaps along with others, but also just because of your own level of skill and knowledge that you have.
That's kind of interesting with this.
So
Because I do feel more positive than not about this security team here. Holy moly, you know, Odin must be feeling pretty good too, because the 8 of Rods just says get moving on it. You know, definitely you're moving in the right direction. Focus your energy there. The 8 of Cups is indicating too that, you know, always think of, you know, how do I want to say this? Be willing to take things to a higher level, maybe. You know, as you're putting this together, don't sell yourself short. Take this to a higher level. Odin is saying you are ready. And, you know, this team, security team that you're amassing together here, you know, I think will work really well for you. You know, it will work. I'm just trying to figure out where this fits in, but I really like the way this is going.
Yeah, your tarot are excellent here. Odin has spoken and feels that you should definitely move this way, that this represents the idea that you'll have capable partners or skilled partners that, you know, will supplement any knowledge that is necessary but that you don't personally have perhaps. So yeah, I turn to the Lenormand and I do question what's going on there. They are awesome. The Lenormand, though, maybe will be saying, though, that, you know, there's not going to be without a challenge, too. And that would be, you know, an Odin thing, too. You know, he's about the challenges. You know, he hung on the tree for 9 days and nights. So the idea is that all of this takes you to where you are confronting either what's confusing or depressing, either in that matter or in matters that are adjacent to it.
I'm thinking here when I see these two together, because the crossroads can be about choices and decisions, right? You're at a crossroads. You're amassing a team. You have to decide, what is best for you here, right? And so with the clouds here, it is saying, Odin wants to make sure you are very clear, you are very sure about who you put on this team. Don't remember I told you here, aim higher. Make sure everything that you're amassing and putting together has, is for your greater good, right? And so, make sure there's no confusion. There is no doubt that when you make this choice, when you make these decisions. And that's what I see here, Kara. Good luck with that.
Looks like full steam ahead, frankly.
Angel wants an oracle card.
Yes.
Well, I have my healing spirits, but I'm called to do the Mabon oracle again. Let's see what we get for you in the Mabon oracle, Angel. Mr. O, why don't you shuffle and then hand them back to me, and then I will cut and all that. Shuffle and cut.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Kara. I keep thinking I dreamt something last night too, but this one I don't remember. So I'm pretty sure I dreamt something, but it's gone. Yeah, I have that happen way too much actually, but well, not really. I don't dream as much as I used to, but there are times when I do dream, and even when I dream more, that I just lose them. Want to pick them up?
No.
We have wool. W-O-O-L. Wool. You are woven with an embrace, protected, loved, and the familiarity of finally being home.
Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate that. It was nice to see you on Happy Hour yesterday.
Nice to see you, Divine You.
Give our love to your lovely mom.
We hope everybody enjoyed their readings. Let me get to 44. Whoa, okay. Your higher self chose this card because you need to be reminded that self-care comes in many forms. Sometimes getting dressed in the morning is what you need to feel motivated, renewed, and powerful, while other times it's standing your ground and saying no. When wool comes into your reading, it's to guide you to find self-care in the small moments of life. That can mean snuggling up with your favorite blanket or your favorite person, finding a quiet corner to dig into a beloved book for the 15th time. I think of Mr. O here. It could mean buying a little cabin in the woods, somewhere off the beaten path, or heading home for a few days so your parents can hold you and tell you it will be all right. There are some places that just feel like home, and some things such as a security blanket that make you feel safe. Receiving this card is your sign that what you need now more than anything is a feeling of something familiar. Wait before starting something new or making any decisions. Instead, seek out some time to reconnect with what once gave you a feeling of peace and ease. Feeling safe allows you to evaluate your situation from a secure place rather than one of fear or anxiety. You'll be able to see your circumstances from the outside rather than standing right in the middle. If you have pulled this card, well, it says with another card, Corn Maze, which we did not. So I'm going to skip that part of the interpretation and just say that this is a time for you to find your safe place, a comfort spot, and really, it will put you in a better frame of mind to handle any stresses or dis-ease that you are having in other areas of your life. Whatever that comfort zone is, take some time for that. Especially if life has been really frenetic lately and or you have some important decisions to make. We want to be in a place of power or a place of security, when we do that.
So the clover and the mountains, and sometimes you're never going to be sure where you find that good luck. You may have to get over the mountain to find the luck. So this is a card saying that sometimes you are rewarded for the work you have to do, the struggles you have to see yourself through, with maybe something that is unexpected but good luck, or a nice turn of events, or something that just feels secure in a way.
I hear you about buying the cabin in the bad economy, Angel. Yeah, maybe not the idea. Go rent one for a night. It's too expensive. So, you know what though? I think that if you put yourself in a place of more comfort and stability and security, when you're tackling with some of the stresses and strains or difficult decisions we have to make in life, the obstacles will just melt away. It will put you in a good advantage for, overcoming whatever has been bringing you down. So I think that's why the mountains and the clover are here. Yeah.
And I just wanted to mention too that Divine has taken her leave, but she did mention that she enjoyed the readings we did for her and her household, that they were really on the dot. So thank you, Divine. If you're still hanging around, thank you for saying that. Always nice to have you in our chat room.
So that's what we have for you. Good luck with that.
Good luck, Angel.
It's interesting reading. I like this deck because it takes, some of the elements of the season we may not always think of in a divinatory sense and really apply some very good messages to them. I really do like this series of decks.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right, you're welcome, Angel. Thank you.
All right. Well, Sel's posted a question, which we'll get to at the end of the reading.
Victoria, astrology says this is a good week for improved finances for Libra. The seeds have been planted, and for the new moon, they're taking root. What does tarot say about improved finances for the week?
Okay.
Well, I'm going to use the Star Spinner tarot. Yes, we see that. Thank you.
All right.
So first we have the reverse Six of Wands. Then we have the Nine of Cups. And then we have the reversed Four of Swords.
Oh. All right. Here's one. Let's see what we have here. Well, it's the woman.
No, we haven't gotten to yours yet, Dr. Victor. We do have your question, though.
And the child.
Woman and child. So you're wondering if things are improving or if there's any sign of that. Some of the cards are sort of indicating that, but that first one, that's the Six of Wands reversed. And I'm wondering if this is just saying maybe out of the idea that you don't feel things are moving in the direction you want, or you don't feel anything is really sort of parlaying that way. It is maybe about, this wish you have, or this idea that there is something that is coming to you. The wish card, we could call it, or just the idea of, what are you laughing at?
Should I have gotten on that UFO?
Oh, no.
No.
Human flesh is pork meat, as somebody says. They're here to eat us. They're here to eat us, okay?
You think so?
So I feel like there's a process maybe where something is healing and changing for the better. Maybe that's the financial situation, that's the Four of Swords there reversed. What do you think, Banshee?
Well, this is kind of a tough one. We do have the Nine of Cups here in the middle. The Nine of Cups is what you're wanting to manifest, your goal, your desire. And it is the wish card, if there is a wish card in the tarot, there it is. And so, manifestation is possible. But getting the right people to notice and recognize your talents, skills, and abilities may still be a bit of the problem. I do feel that something is shifting and changing here for the better. There's a reawakening. There's more energy coming to you in this area, in your financial area. But, I think as far as it goes right now, it looks as though it's a small step forward. It may not be like bells and whistles yet. There may be some sort of small moves forward, some positive signs that things are starting to develop and change. But the child indicates it's nothing big. It's nothing big.
I wonder if in some ways the Six of Wands reverse sort of says this is a sleeper hit, this is a sleeper thing, that maybe this luck and return to something better happens unexpectedly, that no one is really seeing that happening. That's the idea of the Six of Wands. Nobody notices you, but maybe this is a situation that's not being noticed, that something is happening in the background. It still promotes the idea that it's not going to be all of a sudden. Maybe that's why it's sort of a sleeper hit, because it just isn't really noticed, and then it's there.
Well, could the child be an inner child, perhaps in another reading? Yes, I could agree with that. But I get the feeling here that this is talking about your question, and, the child can mean growth. It's true. So that's why, but the child is small. And, the child grows in increments over time. So it's kind of can indicate step-by-step growth, small growth, so there is some change happening here. But I don't think it's going to be huge.
Well, the other thing is you put that out for this week too, so it seems like this is something that can manifest in this week. It may be something that really fulfills the level of wishing for something, but how dramatic it really is, or whether it maybe is just the first step towards something better too.
Right.
Maybe this is the beginning of the turnaround.
That. It could be small steps forward towards what you're wanting to manifest here. So I don't know if this has to do with, I remember you talking to me about, some book writing, looking for other things to write about, etc. I don't know if something's going to come through there, for example, or if it's going to be in some other area, hopefully with all these hundreds of resumes, thousands you've been putting out there. So the good news is it looks as though there's improvement. The stumbling block still to me is right here. That's to me, because I know you took that in a different direction, but that's okay. Is that maybe still not getting the right people who can make bigger things happen get to notice you yet, or pay attention. You just feel like you're not hitting that mark as much as you try. So, But I see something, so that's better than nothing, Victoria.
All right.
I wish you luck with that.
Shopaholic is up and has asked us a question,
All right.
which has been repeated by Violet too. Is there anyone around who is interested in me romantically?
Okay, well, let's see what the cards have to say.
Your deck.
Yep. All right. Gosh, am I only on my third deck? Something doesn't seem right here.
You're welcome.
I must have missed. Oh, because I did an oracle. That's right. Okay, got it. I'll be using my tarot leaves. Leaves Tarot. I forget the exact title. Hey, you are welcome, Victoria.
Earlier today, it was Banshee's Material Matters at 10 a.m. and it was a lively crowd and lots of good financial information was dispensed. So if you're looking for things like that, that's every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. It's a recorded video, but we're all in the chat room sipping our coffee or beverage of choice and talking about the readings. So join us, please.
Okay, let's see what we have here. If anything romantically is coming. Well, we have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is upright. Ooh. Well, we have the Tower. The Tower is reversed. I like the way the leaves broken apart there. It's kind of cute. Oh, and then we have the Knight of Wands reversed. What do you have, Mr. O? You have a man.
Batman. Well, a man who has bat wings. And the birds. Is this guy for the birds? I don't know.
Well, or this person. We won't necessarily ascribe gender per se to any of this, but you know, I mean, this could be another person. And I feel here, yeah, there's a potential maybe that somebody might be coming towards you romantically. There is a potential. There's also a potential that it just may not follow through for a number of reasons here. Let's take a look at this. First off, the Nine of Wands is here. And the Nine of Wands is a card that's just telling you, well, get ready. Be prepared because something maybe is about to happen.
Well, it could also indicate too, your sense of being ready for a situation and how you might be determined to make the best of it.
Right, you're determined, for something to happen and come into your life. Right, I like that. But then we have the Tower reversed here, and I almost feel like it's as if maybe, I don't know your situation in particular, if you're coming out of a negative experience from a bad relationship or whatever, but there's some lessons here or some baggage that still needs to be addressed, maybe addressed in some I don't want to say in a physical way, but more in a mental way, It might be blocking you from inviting the type of healthy relationship that you really want.
Is it possible that because of your stance from card 1 makes you maybe determined to not repeat some mistakes, but maybe there's an idea that you need to kind of soften that stance a little bit?
I like that. In other words, don't allow past failures to stop you from moving forward. That's pretty good too. Yeah, I like that. I can resonate with that. But this Knight of Wands here, that's what's bothering me. It could be indicating that the person that's coming into your life, is not, is a little bit aggressive in their approach. They may want to move things along too quickly, or they may have some ulterior reasons for that aren't very good. So I would kind of watch the next person coming in and seeing if that's the case. to try to slow it down a bit and really get to know them more. The other thing is, it could also indicate to me that there is a startup, possibly somebody who's interested in you, but it may fall through.
Well, I'm wondering if there's somebody, or this could even apply to yourself, that maybe you lack a certain level of confidence moving forward with this, or that this person could be like that too, that they're not steady enough maybe, so maybe they're a little bit daunted by you. Maybe you're a little bit daunted by this prospect even. It could work either way there. And so once again, it could be that you're thinking too much, you're dwelling on the past in this matter, and rather than, just sort of seeing where we'll go. But there is something that is slightly sketchy about that, one way or the other.
So let's take a look at this here. This to me indicates, again, I'm almost looking like there's a person coming,
Yeah.
And how is this person coming into your life? It could be through connections that you have, friends or whatever. Somebody, introduces you to somebody, okay? It's possible it could come that way. It's possible it could come through social media or, different communications, so this could also just indicate that there is going to be an invitation or communication from this individual. So I do feel there's some connection here, and there may be, like I said, either through social media or through friends or family that you meet this person.
There is some sort of introduction that either comes through, like what she's saying here, but I do feel like there is somebody coming, and maybe they come with, some amount of being known to your circle or to other people That's why maybe this connection happens. It's sort of like an introduction or a suggestion. I don't know that it exactly relates to those things, but it probably does.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it does.
Okay.
This kind of really does tie together nicely, even especially with
Okay.
what you said with the tower there. So very nice. Well, it might be a miss. It's hard to say. Just take it slow. Don't let this person push their agenda on you, and just take it slow and see where it goes.
The Knight of Wands just calls for a little sense of bravery, even in a reverse position, that maybe you just have to make sure you're confident enough to move forward in the way you should, and that, if things aren't exactly the way you want, then, you may be back to that step. But that step says you're the one in charge of this. You don't have to let anybody pull you into a relationship that you start to get the feeling like it's not working out.
So, Shopaholic, good luck with that.
Good luck.
All right.
Alrighty.
And we are on Siama.
And Siama wants a love reading.
All right.
So I'm going to use the Nefertari Egyptian style deck again.
All right.
You're welcome, Shopaholic. I hope that made sense.
Just aside. All right.
Okay, love reading.
Yep.
So the first card is the World, and it's upright. And that's followed by the Lovers reversed. And then followed by the Three of Swords reversed. So that's kind of interesting. Over in Lenormand, we get the Fox, who looks like a scary fox. And we get the Child, who, well, we won't say what that one looks like. It's sort of curious, though.
Okay, so I love reading. The World is here. There may be something that's coming full circle here. This is, kind of an interesting reading, Siama. I'm tempted to go two ways on this. That the world here could indicate that, you're about to step into a new cycle as far as love and relationships go. And maybe this fits in too. I want to see what you think about what I'm about to do. This new cycle here. So there is a possibility that, something might be opening up for you in the love department. I feel here that it could involve maybe something from the past in a way. It could involve somebody maybe you had a relationship or an interest in the past. That's not necessarily, I'm not saying it's going to totally necessarily be that way, but it could be. Do you see that at all?
Not with that card necessarily.
Okay.
But I do feel that the world suggests that...
Oh, I see what you might be.
That no, that has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I just don't see what you said about the past.
Okay.
I think the world suggests that there is a sense of you wanting to make this a big cause, or sort of like this is a goal for you to find romance at this time. It's maybe become your world, but it doesn't mean that you're fixated on it. It just means that in a broader sense, this is part of, your bucket list in a way, like you've scratched off everything else, and now you're realizing that you need, to find a relationship of some sort in your life, love in your life. But over here, this is suggesting that you have to make sure the reasons that you're choosing, or the reasons or feelings about a person, do match up with what your view of perfection is there. And that's the Lover reverse, that you want to be careful that you're choosing who really resonates to you, who really feels right.
Oh,
I was stopping there.
You are stopping there. All right. Well, then I'll move it to the third card, and then you can go there. But, all right. So, again, I feel here the world is a funny card, I just want to say, because it's about completion, the end of a cycle. But sometimes it's saying you're almost there. You're almost there, but it's not complete. So I guess I got from that maybe this could indicate that maybe somebody is resurfacing from the past, something that never got fulfilled relationship-wise in the past might now be coming back.
Oh.
But I also feel that this could be a new person. This could just be indicating that you are ready to move on to some new experience here in love. And with the Lovers here, I would suggest to you, Siama, just make sure, that you are, that everything you're looking for, or what you're going after here, is really going to be good for you. Don't just accept anybody into your life. Make sure this person is somebody who will treat you well. Make sure these choices are good ones and sound and solid. Don't just rush into anything. And I feel that because of the Three of Swords here, there may have been some pain in the past in relations to some relationships, or some relationships that never happened. And, healing is still a big part of your life from either this experience, or even if you haven't had such a relationship in the past and you're looking for a relationship now, your heart was hurting for some reason. And you don't want to be, you don't want to make decisions out of a state of vulnerability. So make sure you are ready for what's to come.
I like the idea of a sense of healing coming from the Three of Swords reversed. And I'm wondering if this really says that the relationship that happens is healing to you in a way, because it does take you towards a sense of perfection. Mm-hmm. But I still feel like this is nothing that's guaranteed to come in a certain quicker frame of time. There may be this idea of working through choices or decisions that are important, either for the relationship or for getting towards opening up a relationship. And the Lenormand...
What do you see there? I'm curious.
Well, the fox has two meanings, and one of them can
Few
be
meanings,
involved around romantic ideas or things there. And it's maybe saying you just have to apply yourself slowly and steadily towards that.
Well,
That it's not going to happen quickly, but, taking child steps, working through that, especially maybe the sense of, bitterness or disease you've had from previous ones, even.
you know what? I almost feel as though these two cards are talking about what might be coming towards you, Siama. And I feel the child here can actually represent a child, a person. So what I want to say is that this could be somebody who is, maybe a little bit youthful in their outlook. If they're not a young person or younger than you, it could be somebody who is very youthful in their outlook, and it's somebody that I feel you're going to be highly attracted to. This is somebody who's very attractive in some ways. And because the fox can be about that, a sexy person, So I could also say that maybe they're that attracted to you. It could be that way too. But I sense that here when I saw this combination.
Well, it's interesting.
It is interesting, and that's why I'm saying be sure that this person is the right one for you. Make sure it's just not somebody who is, going to take advantage. Sometimes people are attracted for the wrong reasons. For example, they just want a sexual encounter or, whatever. They're looking for something else. But there seems to be, I'm just going to say, a genuine attraction here. I'm just concerned, wow, how come I just dropped right out of there? That's really interesting. I didn't even touch it. I just think that, they're youthful in mindset, or they are younger than you, and they may be a little bit immature.
Agreed.
How did this happen?
Oh.
I don't know either. There we go. Wow, that's pretty weird.
Well, my keyboard is wacky too. It feels like it's spazzing, like we talk about it spazzing.
That's what we have for you, CM. I wish you luck with that.
All right.
Dr. V is up. I think they posted a question, right? Yep,
right.
There it is.
Career reading of M2M will come back with an interview request, an ultimate job after being asked for your curriculum.
Do you want to do a yes/no on that?
Vitae. Yeah, we could do that.
All right. Thank you. That would be you.
No, I don't.
Oh, wait, no, that would be me.
I don't love Mercury retrograde. Let me make that absolutely clear.
Yeah.
And I have no idea if that's what's happening. It just seems like when I touch my keyboard, the mouse moves all over the place, or when I'm touching the track.
I didn't even touch this thing, and all of a sudden my screen minimized, and it went to a different screen completely.
I had just touched my screen to change it to the screen that you ended up having.
Whoa!
I know. Because I switched between my camera views, and I had just done that when you said that happened.
Our computers and devices are connected in various ways, but that
Horrible
seems a little
ways.
weird to me.
Horrible ways.
Horrible ways. Not when you want to grab pictures that I've posted and stuff, though.
Oh, right. Nothing wrong ever happens there either.
Well, sometimes they do. Yeah. Oh, technology. And I really actually, Mercury retrograde.
Maybe we should do 3 cards because he says he wants some detail, and we can get some of that with yes or no. But
yeah, we can.
let's say we'll follow up with the yes or no after that.
Okay, if we need to.
Okay. Hi, Cole Preek, and we are sorry, but we have actually closed our list for the afternoon. We're just at our maximum amount of users, and we're clearly going to be going into some overtime, but we can't add any more, so we're sorry about that.
All right.
Pretty much when we start at 2, it'll fill up, sometimes within the first half an hour. It took a little bit longer this time.
It took longer today, but you're just too late. Sorry. Swords is upright. Huh. Five of Cups is upright too, though. And the Hanged Man is reversed.
In the Lenormand, there is the Heart and the Clouds.
Well, we might definitely need a yes/no, but I'm not completely sure. So let's see. Let me
Six
take
of
a look at that
Swords.
question again. Is will they come back with a?
An interview
Yeah.
request.
Okay. There it is. I'm not really sure they will.
I'm not either.
And it's basically because I see the Six of Swords here, and I wonder, Dr. V, if that isn't you moving on, just deciding, okay, they're not going to come back with this. There's some disappointment here, too. You know, you're looking at these spilled cups, but no worries, because, you know, you'll be able to find something else, I think is what this is saying here.
Well,
You know, you may have to go to your backup plan, is what this is saying.
my idea is that maybe they'll thank you for the interview and they'll tell you, or
Wait.
thank you for, you know,
Yeah.
the process so far. And they may want to hold on to this information, but they're not probably moving forward with you until they've either eliminated another candidate or something else is coming up. I just sort of feel that this is true, that maybe you won't be waiting for them to pick you, that maybe something else opens for you, or you just find that there is something more interesting for you to pursue.
Do you know what I thought there?
What did you think there?
I thought that maybe that means that either they have already decided, since the Hangman's come down from the tree,
Oh.
or, you know, that they just you're not being considered. I mean, you know, for whatever reasons. They've already, to me, it just seems like they've already made their minds up.
Right, and that sort of adds to the idea that, you know, you feel like either you've wasted your time or there's nothing left there for you. There is, but it's nothing that's going to work out in the immediate. They may retain your information for something in the future, or who knows? It's just not very clear there.
Right, I hope they are going to tell you right away, you know,
Yeah.
Dr. V, because this clouds of confusion is a concern to me here. I think maybe you really wanted this pretty badly because the heart is here, but it just looks as though with the dark clouds facing the heart, it doesn't seem like it's very positive.
It's not going in your favor, and, you know, we don't know how many other candidates or how well qualified they were in comparison to you. It just sort of feels like at the best case scenario would just be that maybe they're holding back from making the decision for some reason, and that it won't be soon, which would precipitate you wanting to move on towards other possibilities.
It's 333. 333.
So I think that's our answer, that it's not looking like it's going to happen.
Yeah, Dr. V, I'm sorry. I mean, maybe we're wrong. We hope we're wrong. Do
Please
tell
let
us
us
if
know,
we're
yeah.
wrong. Please let us know. But
Or-
it just seems like even should you get the interview, which I'm questioning here from what I see, because I really think you're going to move on to something else, this is going to prove a disappointment in some way for you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Sorry.
But let us know if we're wrong or how it works out. And of course, you can always, you know, ask again about related questions. You're welcome.
Hey, you're welcome, Dr. V.
We would love to have great news for everybody, but, you know, sometimes we just have to spin it the way we see it.
Call it the way we see it. I wouldn't call that spin.
He would.
He would.
He just spun up there.
Spun up there. Doggone you, Sonny.
So Viddy is asking,
Gotta
what
move
are some of
everything.
my fears that's affecting me that I need to work through? Very nice question, like that. Gonna use the Tarot of the Northern Shadows.
Oh, I
What?
used my deck. Got it. Sorry. So let's just do 3 cards on this, not mine.
Okay.
I think.
Right, because we want to see
Yeah.
if there are more than one
Right.
possible fears
I
or
want to see what the
ideas there.
factors are. Yeah. Well, welcome back, son man. I thought you'd abandoned us for the day. Silly me. Silly me. Yeah. Hey, Rammy's here.
I love my son boy. I love my son boy. All right. So the Five of Cups, and it's upright. The Emperor reversed.
Ah, well, we've got some stuff to talk about.
And the
don't
Ten
we?
of Swords. We definitely have some stuff to talk about.
Holy cow. All right, wait. Wait for it.
Clouds.
Oh.
And Coffin. Okay. So what are the fears that you possibly need to work to or that are affecting you? Well, one is that maybe, you fear that your life is not balanced enough and that there are things that are escaping you, and you're more focused on the meaning or the feeling or relevance of what has left you, but you may be ignoring or not seeing that there are still some things there. So this fear could translate to not being aware of everything you have, or not seeing the importance of some things you have in relationship to the things you feel are slipping away from you. One of those things that could be slipping away from you is the sense of maybe your control or authority over either your life or certain aspects of your life. Vidi, you might feel that no one is listening to you, or that no one respects what your actual position or the value of your knowledge or things like that might be. So those things could be real, like people have real concerns about that, but they could also just be the way they feel. But it affects you as a fear. You've internalized that to some degree to feel that maybe others don't respect your authority or don't feel you have authority. And then finally, I'm just going to go through the last one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that the Ten of Swords is you may have a fear that things are backfiring on you, or that things will backfire on you. You may have a fear that maybe there is someone specific who is not your friend and who is probably working against you, whether they're a bitter enemy or just somebody who feels they can take advantage of you in certain ways, and that it won't mean that much. This is a fear that you have, perhaps.
That's pretty cool. But, Vinny, this is a very deep reading here, so let's see if we can't dissect this a little bit. When I see the Ten of Swords in a reading like this, and it's about your fears, your personal fears. Yes, it could be an external person. It could be, maybe past betrayals that have added up to make you now afraid. But, sometimes, Vinny, sometimes we are our own worst enemies. And I feel here that your fears are truly betraying you in some ways. You've allowed fear to perhaps, take some control. There's a loss of control here with the Emperor reversed. There's a sense of not having, control over what's going on in your life, because these fears, these self-doubts that you may have about yourself have betrayed you in some way. Now you can get over that. You can rise above it. That's what the Ten of Swords upright says, is that, you can pick yourself up and you can move forward. Let's look at the Five of Cups. I think some of the fears that are betraying you is, past disappointments, past setbacks, things that you've taken to heart as indicating you're never going to be good enough, strong enough, smart enough, accepted enough, whatever the case may be, to move forward. And again, this is self-sabotage here, And when I look at the coffin, and can you mind if I go into that now?
Go ahead.
If I go into the coffin and the clouds, I think what I'm seeing here is you can put an end to this. You can put an end to this chaos, this confusion.
the last thing you were talking about with those.
Okay.
Sorry
so
about that, everyone.
Not all of it, right?
Well, as much of it as you can.
All right,
to.
so I want to say here is you can put an end to this betrayal. You can put an end to the fears that are blocking you. You just have to get more confidence in yourself and banish these self-doubts. This is an end to the self-doubts, to the confusion, to the disillusionment that you may be having with yourself right now. And so don't let past disappointments, past setbacks, past people who may have said even to you that you aren't good enough allow you to believe that anymore. It's time to adopt a better attitude, and put those fears aside that you'll never be good enough, smart enough, wise enough, or whatever it is to achieve what you want here. So I think that's what I have out of those two.
Okay, and Spazzy Keyboard made me hit some wrong buttons, which is what
but we
resulted.
got through this part, right? When I
Yes.
was talking. Okay.
Oh yeah, it was mostly this.
Okay.
So in terms of addressing those fears or feeling how they affect you, it's mostly good to work on them like you want to do, because really you can see an end to some of those things if they're depressing. But you're going to have to really try to work at it. Remember, fears are not always realistic. Some of that, could involve you, just trying to meditate more on what it is that you think is your biggest fear and figuring out if there is, some process through that. Sometimes it's just about handling things in a more calmer manner.
I mean, it has to come from here. It's like what I said, externals aren't going to help you. But another thing that might help, Viddy, is that, you start looking at things in your life that you have been successful at. I know there's got to be stuff, that you have done, that you do. Maybe it's time to do some little things that have brought you some positive energy, success, that have made you feel good about yourself. Whether it's hobbies, whether it's physical activities, whatever the case may be, do things that will uplift you and make you feel stronger about yourself, and it will start to carry you into other areas of your life. But meditation and going in and reminding and affirmation work is really important here, I think, right now for you to conquer this.
Sometimes you need to work on, what you think is your willpower, and an easy way to do that is to maybe take 5 days or 7 days a week and say each day I'm going to do a little something, and by making that little something actually work, be successful, you're building up your will. So maybe the first day you say, I'm going to clean that closet that I've been not wanting to clean.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't remind me.
The second day, I'm going to write to my Aunt Petunia because I've been promising to do that and I haven't done it. Just little things that are possible, but maybe you procrastinate. Sometimes procrastination really just sort of adds to the sense of non-confidence, and that parlays into how we address our fears.
So focus on what you do well, and maybe the rest will fall into place. Do things, but don't just sit back and think about failure. Think about success and keep bringing that vibe into your, into your life. That's what we have for you. The cards, I think, were pretty clear. They were kind of harsh, but I think that's something you needed to hear. You asked about fears, and boy, that gave it to you.
Mr. O needs to take a small break if you want to ramble on for a moment.
Oh, my coffin card is bent. Oh.
No, it isn't.
It is. All the way through. All right. So, Mr. O is taking a break. Can everybody hear me still? I don't know if he put us on any kind of pause. But at any rate, I just want to add, I can talk about our shows. My Material Matters was released today. Boy, I had some nice, good turnout in the chat today, thanks to the people who came. Hey, you're very welcome, Viddy. Very welcome. And, we're going to be doing your Weird Week. We're going to be filming it tonight. We had to have a little gap from the week before, so I think we're going to just start off fresh again because, more than a week has passed since we did the previous reading. But that will be coming out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all right. Mr. O is back, so I can shut up now.
We don't want you to ever shut up.
Well, that's not what you usually say.
Shh.
All right.
It's your deck.
It's my deck, and who
Flower
are we doing?
Beauty has asked,
Flower Beauty.
will my current client increase my payment that I am asking for, or will I have to find other clients? Good question.
How do we want to do that? Should we do a yes/no on the current client?
Could be. Yeah. Start
And
there.
then we'll just see. I think that's fairly cut and dry.
Right, and then we can tell if we need to find
Yeah.
more information. So,
Well, the Lenormand might
Hey,
provide
Flower
that
Beauty.
too. If we're lucky.
and you're welcome, Viddy.
So we're going to ask yes or no. Will the current client increase the payment that you're asking for?
Should we both shuffle?
Yeah, we could.
Okay.
Sure. Just a minute, I'll let you cut. All right.
All right.
Hey, Flower Beauty, good to see you. Yes, well, you were doing the Lenormand this time, didn't I do it for the previous? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Count the cards.
All right.
Thank you. Appreciate that. We love you all. Even when we have to tell you
Ooh.
that readings are for entertainment purposes only.
Well, I wanted to do a yes/no. Now I'm not totally convinced it was the right way, but let's take a look here. So we have the Ace of Wands, so that's positive towards a yes. We also have the Ace of Cups reversed. That means that it's leaning towards yes now. But we have a third card here, and the third card that came up is the Devil.
Well, the devil's in the details, we often say. In fact,
I
everybody
know.
says that. Over in
What do you
the
got? I wanna
Lenormand, here's a devilly looking bat. That's the letter, though.
Oh.
It's airmail, right? And the ship. So, the answer to the first part of the question is most likely yes.
It's most likely yes. Yeah, we have this devil here. They may feel that is a little burdensome for them, even though they may agree to do it. They may feel it's burdensome. Now, does that mean that possibly in the future they'll decide to move on? But no, actually, what I think these cards are indicating here, the ship and the letter, is that maybe this is saying, in a way, the check is in the mail.
Interesting.
That this person is going to make a move on paying you, because the letter can be about something physical, like writing a check or signing their name on a credit or filling out, like today we do everything online, a PayPal, etc.
Well, a second thought I'm having about
Okay.
that devil card maybe suggests that they might agree to this, but they might want to have some sort of specific relationship as your client, not like chaining you to them, but maybe they want, which is typical, but they might also ask that they have some sort of preferred status, preferred customer status.
So in other
with
words,
you.
they want something out of this beyond, what the work itself.
So that could be something that you could easily agree to, or that you might still have to finagle more.
Or some guarantee.
Yeah, a guarantee of some sort. So that's what
like
I feel
that.
there, that, they may say yes, but, and throw something back at you. So I look at the Lenormand, and I don't feel anything there changes that equation. They may be moving towards something in writing that would sort of guarantee that. So they may, I don't know the nature of your business. I don't remember. You're not the horse lady. That's somebody else.
Right, that's Shirley.
Shirley. But that they may want to sort of finalize it with some sort of, agreement in paper.
Yeah.
So
That's a
that
good
looks to
point.
be pretty good, just because maybe that way it protects each of you. Maybe if they were feeling that, something was slipping in the power differential between you as customer and client, this sort of makes them feel more secure. It might make you feel more secure too. I don't know.
It's looking pretty. It looks like it could happen. It definitely looks positive. So you'll have to let us know. I'll be curious to find out.
I see. Okay, so it seems like that has already happened, so we kind of picked up on that. That's interesting. Did we want to look at the other part of that? I guess it doesn't really apply now, right?
No, it doesn't, because I think that this is probably going to work out with maybe some strings attached, right?
Well, the thing is that maybe the experience of working on that kind of agreement opens up your eyes or your thoughts towards the way of creating other senses of agreements with customers for that,
Yeah, that's it.
And I can't speak to that on a business sense. It's just an idea I have.
That's
All right.
what we have for you, Flower
So
Beauty.
good luck with Flower
that.
Beauty.
And Estelle is here. Go ahead and type your question, Estelle.
We already have that. What are
we
some
do.
barriers to meet the future husband, true love, and get married right now? And how can I work on them?
Oh, wow. So what's blocking you right now from getting married and meeting
You're welcome,
that
Flower
person?
Beauty. I hope that helped.
Okay, we'll see what we get with that.
So I'm going to go back to the star spinners. So, right, Flower Beauty, it looks like most likely it'll work out, and they'll just want, if possible, you may want to have somebody who has more, certain information or whatever, review that too, just to make sure you're not missing anything in a contract or some sort of, paperwork you have to sign.
Kara, I'm giving Sunny a hug for you. There. Bear hug for Sunny. Just don't lay on my print computer. Oh, I can't do it. Okay. Well, he's just not
My
giving
name's
me room.
not Alan.
He's just not giving me room. All right. Why do our cats have to be so big? Why can't they be like those rock star cats I keep tweeting, small, or our son's cats who are tiny?
So the first card is the Page of Swords, and it's upright. And then it's the Two of Wands, which is upright. And then it's the Knight of Coins, which is upright.
They're all
So what are the
positive.
barriers? Well,
Good luck finding obstacles there.
yeah, the cards are mostly good. The Page of Wands could be saying that there's a sense of a time passing, because maybe this is about communication. Like maybe, and I don't know everything about you, but maybe somehow your desire has to be communicated in a certain way. Maybe it's how you express yourself. Maybe this is saying that you need to be able to be clear in a sort of, you want to throw those out?
Yeah.
So, tree in the Lenormand.
She's talking about obstacles.
Right, and mountain. Okay.
I just wanted you to have that perspective there
Okay.
too. So.
But I'm thinking the Page of Wands says it's about communication. That one of the obstacles is maybe you don't have, or you're not employing a good sense of communication. So some of this could be your own communication skills. Maybe it's about how you begin conversations or how you address them. Maybe it's just about how you appear in general in representing yourself. So some of that could involve a level of confidence or whatever is appropriate. Maybe, for some things, your society maybe expects you to communicate in a certain way or have a certain sense of being as you communicate.
So did you cover, what did you
No,
cover?
I only covered the first one.
The Page of Swords, okay. Yeah, I think here some of the obstacles is, being able to present yourself well to others, how you communicate to others. Are you communicating from a place of, I don't want to say power, but from a confident place, that and giving people the impression that, you are strong, you are comfortable, with them. The other thing is, the other thing is the Two of Wands here, right? Yes, the Two of Wands. Well, you've got to find, there's got to be a way for you to be able to get out there and follow through, with finding the right person. You have to follow through. You can't just sit back and wait for it to happen. I think you have to follow through and do something to make it happen.
Is a barrier that maybe the perception of you doesn't show that you have a vantage point that looks attractive to others and that looks like you're ready to move towards, a relationship or move towards a certain level of accomplishment, that maybe somebody who's looking at you doesn't see you as being a proponent of your own circumstance in a way, that they might be looking for somebody who has more of an assertiveness about them or more of a business mind or has something more to them. And so this is a perception, that either, fits or can be worked on if it doesn't fit. But maybe they're not seeing you as having some sort of sense of accomplishment or motion towards goals.
Yeah, this is a really, I'm going to go through this again, I think, once I'm done. And that is the
Knight of Coins.
The Knight of Coins. So...
Well, could the barrier be that, it can't be right now, as you say, that it really has to be more of a steady progress? And I see what you're saying there, too, about, your communication feelings about yourself or about, being open or closed emotionally. These could play into that. But I get the feeling like, trying to achieve something quickly is not going to work well for you, that you might have to try to figure out more steady movement towards something, and that means maybe not making overtures that you can't really back up in terms of promising anybody anything. You can't necessarily say, well, if we begin this relationship, I can do this, if you can't really do whatever that is. So you have to be able to put motion behind what you're talking about or put actual physical things there. So in that sense, maybe not being emotionally open plays towards that, because maybe you haven't felt you have enough expertise in all these areas to be able to address that.
Well, I like a lot of what he said there about that Knight of Pentacles, in that, this isn't a race. Slow and steady gets you there. In other words, pace yourself. Get yourself more confident, more comfortable with the way that you communicate your intentions and your desires to others. And definitely, get out there, get out there and do the work. Have a plan. Planning is fine, but ultimately at some point we have to do the work to eliminate whatever obstacles are blocking this, because clearly, you do have obstacles, Estelle. The mountains are here. So the mountains are, you have to do some, you have to do more. You have to do more to get the growth, to establish your roots in a relationship, It's just going to take time. I feel here that you shouldn't, you shouldn't worry so much about how long it takes, but you should worry more about, what you get out of this, the end result. The end result is you want somebody and something that is really going to last in your life. And sometimes it's a rough road getting there. It's a lot of hit and miss in getting there. So don't be too hard on yourself, but by all means, communicate your intent more, your desires more. Get out there and do the work and take your time.
Well, there almost seems to be like a contradiction here, because this says maybe trying to be more assertive and forward in communication, but this is saying,
No.
Do it steadily. It only seems that way. You can do both. You can be assertive without necessarily being pushy. So I think that's what it's asking for, is to meter that. And then the other barrier really is finding things about yourself that you can still work on that may make you look like you have your own set of goals, that you're not just somebody that's just waiting to be married, but that you have personable things about yourself. So maybe there's a hobby or a practice you do that you can enhance by maybe doing more of that, or making that a little bit more your focal point, something that maybe makes yourself look special to somebody else rather than just somebody who's waiting, to find a romance.
Well, I'm not sure about that. That too is a little bit tricky for me too, working with that here. But I would almost think, the hobby or just getting out there, maybe that's just talking about where you need to place yourself. If you have interests that, whether they're hobbies or whether they're entertainments that you like, then be out there and look for people in those environments that share your similar hobbies, your similar interests. Okay, if there is like social media groups or other groups, community groups that revolve around interests of yours, get out there and be there, because you might meet a person, who you are compatible with there. So I just feel that this card is more, to me, concerned about the steadiness and the slowness of, this might take time still. It might take time to play out, but enjoy the journey. Life is a journey, and some things take longer to manifest than others.
I like that, because I feel that does definitely parlay into what this is, that it's not a steep mountain, but it's still a mountain that affords you some amount of caution or care. But growth never happens totally fast either.
Exactly.
Growth should just be consistent and ongoing.
Look how old trees are, and they keep growing through time. So that's what I'm saying here. But if you really want the roots, if you want the roots of a long-term relationship, it's going to take work and effort still, communication on your part, and, it's going to take a little bit of time. So I wish you luck with that, Estelle.
And that's what we have. So Alika is here, and Alika has asked, what feelings did Cancer experience when they were in a relationship with Capricorn? Okay, I like that. That's going to be your deck.
Okay, let me grab, I had the angel one out.
You're welcome, Estelle. Good luck. Hello, boy. Hello. 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 I hear you.
The cat?
No, what a self just said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. So, well, you know what? You have to sometimes cast those fears aside and keep moving in that direction anyway. It's like feel that fear, but keep trying anyway, you know? Don't let your fears rule what you need to do. And sometimes things will take a little bit longer, but don't give up on that dream and that goal. But also, you know, I would say this. Sometimes, and I'm not saying that's in your case, but sometimes people are not going to get married in life. And so, you know, you need to find ways to be content and happy in your life without that. And you'd be surprised, you know, how sometimes it'll come to you anyway. So that's why I'm saying, you know, we have to live our lives regardless of what our goals truly are.
I won't say
And hope
who,
for the
but
best.
there's a certain person we know, maybe there's even a couple people we know, who it did seem like they were moving along the bent of, you know, never finding a relationship. But something did happen to them. It was more in their 40s, but, you know, they're pretty happy now. They're happy. So sometimes it just isn't meant to be until you're actually ready for it, maybe.
Okay, so it's the Cancer experience one was in a relationship with the Capricorn.
Right. What did they experience when they were in a relationship with
We have
Capricorn?
the Empress reversed. We have the Hermit upright. We have the Page of Swords upright. Kind of a mixed bag in a way, maybe not.
Over in the
What do you have?
Lenormand, we have the Heart, but gosh darn it, there's the Scythe. Now, the Scythe is curving away from the Heart, but I still think that means something there.
I still think that means something too there. Some cards are kind of rubbing me the wrong way, the way they're in combination here. And I almost feel here, when I look at the Empress reversed, the Cancer maybe just didn't feel that they were given as much attention as they felt they deserved. Or, on the other hand, maybe the Cancer was unwilling to give enough love and support and attention to the Capricorn. I could almost go either way on that, but I'm almost leaning towards the first way I said that. What do you think?
Right. They're sort of feeling like, well, maybe they're feeling they weren't feeling like their needs were being met
That's
in some ways.
right. See,
Yes.
that's what I first went with. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't address that much more than that they sort of feel that basically
What did that lead to, you know, in a way?
it led towards maybe their sense of wanting to isolate more or
They
to look
drew
inward
back.
more. Yes.
They started drawing or moving away. Now, I don't know if you find that to be true here, but it's almost as if, you know, they felt like they needed to find their own comfort zone.
Well, right, and that's also the Empress reverse too, that maybe without feeling like they had a certain sense of freedom to do what they felt was in their interest, they decided to kind of go inward themselves and just do things that were very personal in some level and not so much putting energy out there towards the relationship
Right.
or other relationships.
Right. They closed themselves off. And so it led to, and I think what it led to was, you know, this got communicated in some way. You know, maybe it was in not necessarily verbal ways, but there was a way they communicated that they were becoming more distant. Right?
What's that, the Page of Swords?
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, what the Page of Swords is about communication, but how we communicate things can be verbal, non-verbal, in subtle ways, you know?
I can see that. I think sometimes maybe in this kind of context, the Page of Swords sort of sets themselves apart in a way
Okay.
to be, maybe looking down, sort of as an arbitrator of something, the relationship. So maybe this plays into the idea of kind of pulling back and maybe having more measured, tactful, diplomatic kind of commentary there without necessarily committing to any of the emotional basis. Other people are writing questions.
Yeah, I see that. That's all right. And so the Lenormand kind of adds to this in a way. They felt cut off from feeling love. They kind of cut the connection of love towards, towards the Capricorn, right? Am I saying that right?
Right.
Yeah. Is that what you were getting with that?
Somewhat. I mean, I didn't see it explicitly with the scythe pointing towards the
know.
heart, but I feel that way,
I felt that way.
that this is a question about how they felt. And
Maybe they felt cut off from love. In other words, because of this situation here. So, and remember, we're talking about what they went through, what they felt and what they went through, but it's not necessarily the truth of the matter. It's how they experienced it,
Right, this could be their nature. They could
Yeah.
be more of a hermit by nature, or a person that represents, the Empress reverse,
Well-
seeking to, take care of themselves first more on some levels. And maybe that just denotes the fact that a Cancer is kind of more of an emotional based person. And so if they were feeling hurt for whatever reason, or feeling that they didn't quite fit there, this could have been more their response.
I think the Cancer, it's just the way they felt about things. You may feel, the Capricorn may feel that they did everything possible to be the kind of person they would want them to be. But you know what? Ultimately, we can't control how other people think and feel. Sometimes they feel the way they feel for other reasons. Maybe they felt they would get more attention from somebody else, or what they were truly looking for from somebody else, and they used that as an excuse. They were in kind of a denial of sorts here. So they didn't want to accept the love and care because they wanted something else. So I'm just saying this is sort of what they experienced, or how they rationalized the situation they were in this relationship.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to make anyone else yawn. I really am tired today. I'm not sure what's going on.
So let's try to keep our things shorter.
So the Prince of Swords, or the Page of Swords, and the Scythe sort of have a resonance to each other. The idea that maybe they are sort of parting some things, mostly because they feel they need to either stand aside of it, or to separate themselves from where they feel pain or distance.
That's what we see in this. Good luck with that, Alika. That's what we have for you. All right.
So Libra is up, and Libra has asked, I know you are, but what am I? Libra has asked, what is coming towards them?
Okay. That would be my reading, and you can use your cards.
Okay, so I'm going back to the Egyptian Nefertari deck.
Yeah.
And you're welcome, Alika. I don't know if we're just getting more tired, but it seems like the readings are just a little bit more involved lately.
Well, we are getting towards the bottom now, but we still have a few readings to do. We have, I think, 1, 2, after Libra's 1, 2, 3, 4 more.
The last 2 to 3 years of my career job were mostly not as happy. There was just too much consternation because of the way things changed. I had 6 different managers in the 20 years I was there.
So what are we talking about here?
Well, I'm sort of addressing, being the good sport.
Oh.
And my feeling was I had to go along to get along, because otherwise I would have just been opening myself up for more being picked on. So it was like I had to
take it out on me.
And you know, I can turn off the mic and turn off the camera, and no one will ever know.
No, you know what? Yeah. Going along to get along in the workplace is often what many of us have to do. Sigh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, so Libra, what is coming towards you? It's the Seven of Pentacles. What's coming towards you is a pause in what you've been doing, and maybe not necessarily a clear idea or willingness to take it somewhere else. You may be thinking about what potentials are, but in doing that, you may be letting something slip away. The camera's not on us, so yawn to your heart's content.
Quietly.
So Libra, what it looks like is what is coming towards you is a pause where you can consider to proceed or to change things or to just let things stay exactly the way they are.
Well, Libra, you know, the Seven of Pentacles is also about, well, it's the same, it's similar message basically. There is a pause here, you know. It's a pause in thinking in terms of, well, I put so much into something already. Is it going to manifest for me, or what more do I need to do? Or maybe I've already done everything I can, and it's time to just let it fall away. So it's a time of, it's kind of a holding pattern. It's kind of what's coming towards you is a period of reflection and determining what more you need to do, and if it is worth your time and energy to pursue a particular situation or thing in your life.
So why is that important? Five of Wands upright. It's important because this may have you really busy one way or the other. You may find that there are busy things where you have to find ways to cooperate with other persons or person. It could be your children, it could be your workplace, it could be your relationship. But it's important because you don't really necessarily have the time to make the best decision. You might have to just really dive into that mix to sort it out or to move it forward in some way.
So why is this important? I think it's, you know, this is important because you need to stop and think about whether, why is this important? You need to think about whether this is, how to resolve, how to get people on the same page as you. I almost feel as though maybe the problem why you feel stuck is because people are not on the same page with you. And they have their own ways of wanting to achieve what you're trying to do here. They have their own ideas of where things should be going, where things be headed, how much effort is needed, and who should be doing what, and in what manner.
I like that. So where does it lead to? Strength. It leads to the idea, it's upright, that you are the one here who maybe can make the difference no matter where you've seen yourself and what's going on here. You're the one who has to apply good reason and compassion to this situation. If it's a task that's waiting to be fulfilled, if it's an involvement with other people that sort of need direction or to need to get to the page you're on, you can do that, but you have to be considerate of everybody's role in this, and you have to sort of take the stance of being a firm but loving moderator or person who is there to kind of move it along in the best form. You're a spokesperson in a way.
So, yeah, where is this headed? I think that this is headed to everybody kind of just being more respectful of each other, giving people this, listening to one another, giving people, the benefit of the doubt here. And, things should work out. I think things should work out if everybody just softens the tone a little bit, and everybody just tries to really work together, make accommodations for what each other expects out of, what's trying to be accomplished here.
But it looks like you're the one that will set that tone. You're going to model
Okay.
that behavior of being respectful and nice and showing other people that there's a reasonable way to discuss differences or to move plans forward when everybody's not exactly together on that. So then the Lenormand, our old friend the heart, and the child.
I feel you're moving towards a period where there will be, a return to harmony, a return to people connecting on a more heart level with one another. In other words, I'm not going to get into that this is about love, but if this is about a relationship and you see it that way, Libra, then okay. But I feel like people will take small steps towards getting to the heart of things and treating people, in a heartfelt manner as opposed to maybe trying to push their own agendas here, right?
I love you did that because I was going to do it if you didn't. Because these two cards sort of represent the opposites in the matter, that maybe, it's important because you're dealing with people who don't necessarily feel they can take things in a more timely manner, that they sort of feel they need to rush and do this. And your point in this will be really saying...
And this actually fits in with that.
Yes, your point in this will really be saying, no, we can't not take our time to make sure that everything gets resolved in the best way possible.
So I'm going to leave what I said
steps.
as what I said, and that's what we have for you, Libra. Good luck with that.
All right, so now we are on Satyendra. And Satyendra asks about the connection between themselves and Sinhua next 1 year. Your crush, okay, you're in long distance and no contact, so you're wondering if, things are going to move along still.
Well, let's see. All right. Okay, let's not confuse. Mix the decks together.
So as we are moving into the final stretch of readings, just reminding everybody that we are back on Thursdays from 7 to 9 p.m. So check it out. Don't forget we have the Weird World tomorrow, which I don't believe I have a screen for. Or
Weird Week.
The Weird Week.
Weird World in the Weird Week.
The Weird Week for the Weird World. Well, they sort of do combine. That's Mondays at 9 a.m. But also, we have other shows during the week too, like my Goth Tarot, Wednesdays at 8 a.m. And of course, on Fridays, it's the Emotional Exchanges, which is more complete information about our love life, our relationship life, things like that. And then there's Happy Hour, which this week will be at 4 p.m. It'll be a little later. Thank you, Sunny, for that.
Thanks for sneezing on me and my cards.
And then taking us back to another Banshees Material Matters next Sunday at 10 a.m. Complete financial information for everyone for the week.
I hadn't said anything earlier, but boy, we sure look dark in this video.
Yes, because I turned off that light.
Yeah.
Because there was glare on the cards that were on the left side.
The cards are the star of the show. We're just facilitators.
Well, I don't want you to say, I can't see that because of the glare.
No, I agree. Well, actually, because this was so close, I could see most of them most of the time.
But then...
Maybe that's the key, but then it got the glare.
People out there might not see it because of that glare, though.
Yeah. It's always something. All right.
Okay, so this is about Satyendra's connection with Sinhua.
Oh, well, this talks about the distance factor, I think. It's Lovers reversed. The Eight of Swords is reversed.
This could be good news.
Maybe. And the Six of Cups is upright. What do you got?
I have the garden.
Hmm.
And the sun.
Oh. Maybe
So,
I am liking
some things
this.
are looking good here.
Fingers crossed, it's hard to say when you have no contact what is going on. And, I see some mixed signals here a little bit. So I am going to give you both sides of this, the positive and the maybe kind of iffy one. But, when I see the lovers reversed here, I think first off I thought of the distance factor. There's clearly separation between you both right now. And then you said there's no contact, so I kind of feel that strongly with that card. The good news might be, I'm going to go with the good news first. I think the good news might be that with this Eight of Swords reversed, it's possible that now things will start to change and shift. You might be feeling more confident that things are moving in a positive direction and that the connection you fostered with this person, your crush in the past, is still holding strong. I'm going to stop there.
Okay. And I wonder, Satyendra, if this is a person you've known for a long time or even since, childhood or when you were both considered yourselves younger. So I sort of feel that connection could be there. But the Eight of Swords reversed to me does indicate that maybe if there were particular circumstance that has kept you at long distance, that maybe something about that is going to break open, that maybe, communication may more likely break open for some reason. I like the way he's looking.
I know. It's like, why is she doing that?
So if there's the idea that maybe somebody was really not in contact because something literally prevented that, I'm not going to, held against their will is a word that comes to mind, but maybe there was a specific reason why there was not contact and that there is a long distance. Thank you.
Sorry.
This is looking like it could change somewhere in this next frame of time. I don't know for sure how long that could be.
Oh, did you go to this already?
I did not.
Okay, you're talking about which one?
I was talking about the middle one after I talked about that one.
Got it.
I didn't even address the first one, which I sort of feel like, this could be an idea that besides the idea of physical separation, it could also be indicating that, there are some doubts going on. Maybe you're having doubts because it has been a long time, but maybe, Sinhua also has those kind of feelings too. So, of course, if it's at all possible for either of you to reach out to each other in some form, then maybe that should be considered.
I know. I think that too. There looks like there might be success that could lead to a marriage. Remember, I'm talking about the good one now because I'm going to quickly go through something else that's a little worrisome to me. But this could lead to a successful marriage. I think I see this here with the way we are looking at the cards. That there could be a successful culmination here, or that there is success in, trying to get that connection back.
I'm more likely to go with that somehow, achieving a reconnection may offer some ideas there.
Now, here's the problem I've seen too, and it was kind of worrisome to me. When we're separated apart and we don't know what's going on, it's possible here that your partner is making a different choice. The person that you have a crush on could be perhaps considering somebody else. And being that there is no communication, they may be feeling free to do that. They may be feeling like, well, now I can consider other options, And I don't know why this card is here other than maybe it could indicate somebody from their past that they may have some interest in is a possibility. And, maybe they are successfully exploring, these other connections and options. So, see, when there's a separation and no contact, it can open us ourselves up, and even these cards, to give us a couple of different scenarios here. But I do feel more I feel a little bit more confident, Satyendra, with my first version, the more positive version. So keep hope alive here. But as Mr. O, I think, was really trying to hammer home, try to establish a connection here, if at all possible. Because it would be really important, to do that and to keep, positive feelings alive.
All right.
So that's what we have for you.
Good luck. Thanks
I
for
hope
coming
that
to the
gives you
show.
some things to think about there.
SP has left us their question, which Violet has put out,
All right.
and they are interested.
Oh, did you?
I
let's
know. I
see.
just thought of that. They are interested in. You're welcome. You're welcome. I hope you like that. Thank you. How will things shape in their career in the next 4 months?
Can I see those cards? I think you took mine back, possibly. I knew you did.
Do I have to give them all back?
Yeah.
Couldn't we trade for some of the other ones?
I'll have to keep that in mind when we use this together in the future. My goodness. All right. So what's the question again? How will things shape in my career in the next 4 months? Your deck. No confusion.
Unless you have a Star Spinner Lenormand.
No, I don't.
You're welcome.
But I do have a Healing Light Tarot and a Healing Light Lenormand, although I think the size difference is very apparent with that one. So I don't think we'd mix those up. And I've been using my Healing Light Tarot pretty much exclusively these days with the Weird Week show we do. What's bugging me is I can't seem to find my Dancing in the Dark Tarot. And I really want to bring that one out again.
All right. SP, how will things shape out in your career in the next 4 months? And our first card is the Page of Coins reversed. Page of Pentacles, Page of Coins. Our next card is the Nine of Swords upright.
You're
Looks
welcome,
like a little
Satyendra.
Night Terror there. And then the final card is the reversed Ace of Wands. So some of these are not really good here. Well, maybe
Well,
most
that's
of them.
interesting because of this
The tree
and this.
and the sun.
So maybe that might make you think about why those cards are together.
Maybe it won't.
Well, I have an idea. I have an idea that this is very important here. Is playing a very important role here, SP. You may have a lot of fears or worries, anxiety about where your career is going. Are you expecting bad news? Are you expecting things, business ventures, or, a financial downturn? Are you thinking the worst as far as career goes, that you're never going to find a home or a place if that's the problem, or that you could lose a job? It seems like fear and anxieties, which may or may not have a basis in reality, are at play here.
Yeah, oftentimes that's really no more complicated than that the Nine of Swords could be said to be borrowing trouble. People who maybe feel, that they're always fearing the worst, or some measure that. I don't want to act like you're a worrywart. I don't really know you that well.
You might be experiencing some true stress and anxiety, but the problem is whether it's true or whether it's all in your head,
Or somewhere in between.
it's affecting your outlook and it's making you very nervous,
Right. You mostly feel that, there's no success going, or that success is going to be measured out in longer periods of time. And that with the Page of Coins, maybe you actually feel unconfident about what your skills, resources, studies, etc. have brought you, that maybe you're not feeling like some of this was worthwhile enough to help you with your career. So you're doubting or have fears about your career strength, skills, and things like that. But like Banshee says, this may be a case of mixed signals. Maybe you're in an environment where people don't give a lot of praise or feedback, and they just sort of expect you to kind of shoulder it along.
Or if you're between jobs or you're not settled where you want to be in your career, you're having doubts that you're really going to get there, you know? Whatever the case may be, you have the sun here and you have the tree. And so that's indicating to me that growth potential in the next 4 months is good. There's success for you, you know, in your career pursuits in the next 4 months. You know, you might be establishing roots somewhere. You might be, or you might be growing into a job or position that you get. It all spells positivity here. So that's why I have to say, this seems more like worries or nervousness or anxiety about something not taking off than the actual reality. Something good is going to come through for you if it hasn't already.
I'm actually wondering if maybe some of the things that you doubt or fear play into some of the other areas of questions you've given us in the past. I know that you and your husband actually work at a distance from each other, different countries. And so maybe those are part of the anxieties too, that you're wondering if these things will pay off for you when you hope to be able to reunite. I think Banshee's right. I think that despite whatever it is you are worrying about, underneath that, the ideas of success and application in your career are paying off and will continue to pay off.
So good luck with that. I think you'll do fine in the next 4 months. And we are on Seven Oceans, I believe.
Right.
If Seven Oceans is still here. Or we have a question.
Left a question, I don't know.
And then Violet Lotus.
Did Seven Oceans leave us a question, Violet? Do you remember? I don't. I'll talk about some other shows for a moment.
Okay, there it is. Guided message reading I need to hear for the next weeks. Okay.
Okay, there it is. Thank you.
Guided message. Do we want to do my reading?
Sure.
Is it my deck or yours?
It's your deck.
All right.
Thanks, Seven Ocean.
All right. Well, the Page of Pentacles came up again, and it's reversed. Just had that.
I know.
The Queen of Cups is upright. And Strength is reversed. Okay. All right. What do you have? I want to see those now, I think, too.
The first card was the Anchor. And then the second card is the Clover.
Okay, so what is the guided message? What is the message? Well, there may be some bad news. There may be some, prepare yourself for, some potential downturn, perhaps financially or in business affairs. Or in some project or goal that you are working on. Like, for example, if you're a student, there could be, I think the message right now is to try to kind of clear your head and focus on what's wrong here. That's, I think, the message.
I'm wondering if you're finding that some things you're starting to realize are just not part of where you're going, and that maybe this is an opportunity for you to consider different goals here. Some of this may be that you're just not feeling like you're bonding with these opportunities or these situations that are around you, whatever they are. And so maybe you are starting to realize that this is time for you to seek a different path, maybe something that's almost the opposite of what you were doing, or clearly somewhat different.
I don't know. I mean, this is just for the weeks ahead, so I don't know what this could be, but if you're anticipating or worried about some bad news financially or in your career, that could be what the message is. But I'm not going to rule that out. Why is that important, though, with the Queen of Wands? So
It's
cups. What would you say
Well,
about that?
because whatever this is does mean so much to you emotionally, that maybe you have a lot of love or care or emotional feeling bound up in that you don't necessarily want to change things strongly, but you're sort of feeling like there's something between what your heart says and what your mind or experience says.
Well, I like what he said there, and especially the part where it kind of ties into this, that, you feel like you've given so much of yourself to this, situation. And so, you really have high expectations, that this would turn out better, that there wouldn't be, this sudden, bad news or downturn, that you're seeing here. And, you feel like you've really done everything you can on some levels. So, emotionally, you have a lot wrapped into this. And where's that leading?
It's strength reversed.
Where it's leading is that you may have to be a little bit more, I don't want to say aggressive, maybe that's not the word.
Assertive.
But assertive. That's the word, thank you. Assertive in your approach to this, to try to turn this around, or to see what's wrong, to see if you can't have any sway in this. Sometimes, of course, when strength is upright, it's saying, hey, I need to be kind. I need to take a softer approach to this. This is more of a card of like, well, if this is really important to you, whatever's happening here, then maybe you do need to stand up for yourself a little bit.
Well, in this context, I'm wondering if it could also mean, too, that you're kind of playing whatever these matters are closer to the vest, and you're trying to keep your poker face up there so that people involved in a situation or others don't necessarily feel they can guess where you're at in the situation. This may be something that you want to not necessarily say exactly where you're at with it until you see the full range of where it's going or how you really feel you want to express yourself.
I think you have a good chance of possibly turning this around in some ways of an Oceans, because you have the clover here, and the clover is a sign of good luck, synchronicity, fate. Maybe something you say or do at the right time could minimize this, The anchor here, to me, I guess what I'm picking up here is that if you remain steadfast and firm, assertive here, steadfast, firm, you anchor yourself into, I guess I want to say maybe digging in your heels a little bit, like throwing that anchor down and I'm here, I'm tied to this. Maybe luck will be with you in doing that. I don't want to say go down with a sinking ship per se, but there's some safety and security in digging in your heels, standing up for yourself, and possibly being able to turn this around.
It overall looks like maybe a situation that comes to you seems to want you to make a decision, but maybe you're not really ready. You're wanting to observe or feel it, but at some point you will realize that whatever decision you make, you are really going to be fortunate that forces of good things are on your side.
Yeah.
You'll feel empowered to do this.
I think that, fate is on your side here. So whatever this is, I think ultimately you'll be able to persevere through this. That can also be about perseverance. So hang in there.
All right.
And I wish you luck with that, Seven Oceans. Good luck.
Thank you.
Violet Lotus, did you ever think we'd get to you? Holy moly.
Yeah, we really went into overtime this time.
We did. I'm not going to say why.
You're welcome.
Boom. Hey, you are welcome. Let's see what you got. You jumped last night, your mother. Oh.
Do you have a preference for a certain deck?
Hold on, I didn't read the whole thing yet. For some reason, immediately.
No, that question was for her.
Oh, sorry. All right, let's see what we can figure out there. How do you want to do that?
Well, is the basic...
No preference for decks. It's
Okay.
your deck, so...
So the basic question is someone or something, your ancestors or guides, trying to tell you that she's not well? Why is that important, and where will it lead to?
Well, I think you just want to know. No, I think you just want to know if she's well or not, and let's do that. What was
Okay.
it about? What was the dream about? I don't think I want to do my reading on that.
Okay.
I guess. Okay.
So we're just asking the question that way? What was the dream about?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if it was about her being ill, we'll get some sign of that, I think, in the cards. I think.
Oh, I'm pretty sure we will. The Ace of Wands, upright. The Five of Swords reversed.
Ooh.
The Ten of Cups upright. Whoa.
What weirdness is that, Violet? And then there's the fish. The key.
Well, there's keys on that wand.
I know these are very positive cards, but I have a sense about this.
Not the Five of Swords.
Yeah, that's right. Five of Swords is not a positive card. But I have a sense about this. And yeah, maybe that fits into what I'm thinking here. Maybe family is starting to coalesce and gather because something's initiated, something's beginning to happen or develop or to grow. And then we have the Five of Swords, which is just not good. And so in a health context, what could I say about that? That this could be a battle that maybe your mother's in that she may not be able to win. And the reason I'm saying that is when I see the key here, the key and the fish together, my immediate thought was that something is growing, like a cancer, like a tumor. So in other words, I'm not sure that her life is in immediate jeopardy or anything per se, but there may be something that is going to be a continuing growing problem that she's trying to take care of. And with that, it could be another health condition. I also think of blood flow when I see the fish, things that flow in the body, And so I think of fluids, I think of blood flow. So it could be a blood cancer. It could be It could be something that's impeding flow. So in other words, if it's not a Cancer, excuse me, it could have something to do with blockages in arteries and things of that nature.
Well, here's a thought to consider. Most fish just keep growing, even if they slow down, especially fish that have a lot of cartilage. That cartilage just keeps growing.
This is the last reading, Angel.
And so that is akin to the idea of a cancer tumor that just keeps growing. But I like what you said about flow and stuff too, so that figures in there. I feel like this could be saying that something about your dream is accurate. The idea that maybe, you know, people are coming together to try to be kind or to represent his family for her seems to be there. But that it is really something that will be nearly impossible to have a good outcome.
This could also be about your guides just kind of gently, well, maybe not so gently, but just trying to let you know, that this is happening. And I understand there's angst and there's animosity there, but your guides are going to take a different approach, to this. And maybe they feel at least that you need to know this is happening, for whether she made her bed and she's lying in it or not, There's something up here, and it is some type of upheaval. And so if I look at it on a health basis, I could say that, yeah, things could be some battle that she's struggling with, health-wise, and could be gaining the upper hand or will gain the upper hand. It could have just started because we have the Ace of Wands here, So I'm wondering, is there anything you can add to that?
No, I can't really. I sort of think it is what it is. I feel that the issues of,
I'm sure it does bring up complicated emotions.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, definitely.
There's not much more I can say for that.
Yeah. Well, dreams can be fickle, funny things. And, this is what our cards are leaning at. But, keep open the possibility that maybe there's something else going on. However, this is kind of what I see, So, and I'm always a little bit wary when we deal with the health issues, but we're perfectly willing to go there. It's just that I'm not going to rule out that it isn't something else. It's just that it strongly does kind of suggest that. So I wish you luck with that. Good luck.
And that brings us to the end of our show.
Yeah, new diagnosis. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something new, a growing problem. So maybe if it's not a cancer growing, it could be this, like maybe she has to have some heart surgery or something major to clear out blockages or whatever the case may be, So.
You're welcome, Violet.
Good luck with that. All right. That's what we have for everybody today. Woo! Yes, we went into major overtime, Angel Rivera. I think we kind of stalled and got stuck on a couple of readings this time. It's not that we had so many, but some of the readings weren't completely cut and dry. And there were some times where I had to give more than one scenario, and there were some times when Mr. O went a little bit on. We both did this a little bit today, so went into overtime gladly to try to sort things out for you guys. So, hey, have a great rest of the day, great rest of the evening ahead, and hopefully we will see you soon.
All right.
Bye-bye for now.